What up, nerds? Bujo Head Jody here. I have been bullet journaling since 2017, and I would like to share with you my 2020 Christmas spreads. But wait, there's more. Obviously, if you looked at the title of this video, we're also going to do a little flip through of some previous Christmas spreads that I've done. So here's 2017. I went all out, did some doodles. So each little stocking is a person, and I put their name up at the top and included what I wanted to get them. And then when I was done, I colored it in. Now you see there are two separate sections. The smaller bit is my more immediate family. So they got, different presents. Pretty simple, pretty easy to put together, and was cute. Now in 2018, we actually have a couple different spreads to look at. First for the actual Christmas list, I did a list. Under, that is all the names, and then I listed what I wanted to get them down the side here. You see I have some more specific tasks that I could check off. So ordered, made, wrapped, shipped. And I actually really love this big header here. And the presents down at the bottom had this, really similar wrapped style. It was really cute. Now you'll notice I have a lot of, I added this extra little bit here about t-shirt blankets, because I do some very minor sewing. So one of the plans for this year was to make t-shirt blankets for anyone that wanted one. So this is an extra spread that I had set up at the very beginning of my bullet journal. And so it would include the name of the person, how many shirts they sent me, and sort of like figuring out how big I wanted each thing to make. And sort of the theme of their bullet journal, and I just kind of left it open for notes and what I was going to do. And then the different sections, I think I colored in the top part with their name when I had everything cut out, and then the main part I colored in when I was completely done with the blanket. Yeah, I love the little bits. Now you notice that I did get the spacing a little wrong there, but I did not want to go back. So, oh well. Not everybody took me up on it, but it was nice to have the spread there. I really enjoyed it. So that's 2018. Now 2019. I also did more of a list. It was a very, very simple. So the names are under there. I did give myself total amounts that I wanted to spend. I was pretty specific in that. I also, there are some things that I put things together. Under there was some travel plans. It was much more sketchy. This year wasn't a big thought out spread. So it doesn't need to be super fancy. You don't need to go all out. Although that's the plan this year. So we're gonna have a 2-part spread. We're gonna kind of hark back to the 2017 version of this spread, where I had sort of a little doodle for each person I was going to buy something for. So instead of doing stockings, actually did like sort of a little tag, a little label, which was sort of supposed to represent the little labels that you put on presents. And I did make sure that I sketched all this out beforehand, just so that I was sure about the spacing. Obviously learned my lesson from the t-shirt blanket spread. I am still using the turn the page and pull the straight line towards you technique. That works pretty well for me. I generally don't bother with rulers. I think in 2017 I did use a ruler a lot, but I like, gives it a little bit more of a hand-drawn look. It doesn't need to be totally perfect. And plus, when you use this technique, all those finishing lines to close up all those boxes are very satisfying. So I am also including some larger boxes up at the top and the bottom of these spreads. Got a couple quotes, a title, and a little key there. So in this key, there's supposed to be little lights on like string lights. So they're all different colors. And so they are ordered, made, wrapped, and shipped. And I don't know if anyone else's family called it this, but we always had weird nicknames for Christmas, and so one was Crack Moose. Let me know if you've ever heard of that. It's very strange, but... and then I've got 3 different quotes, which are from one of my favorite Christmas movies, The Ref. Very hilarious. All of these are basically quotes from the sarcastic aunt character. She says, the spirit of Christmas is either you're good or you're punished and you burn in hell. And then the 2 quotes at the bottom are in exchange with her and her kids. So they're complaining, the TV's broke. What are we gonna do all night? And she, of course, responds, "Celebrate the birth of Christ. Now put the presents under the tree." Highly recommend. Unfortunately, we could not find it this year on any of the streaming services, so good luck. So each of these little labels is going to have the 4 different colored lights. And then about where on the key, I've written key, I'll put there the recipient's name. And then the rest of the space, I'll put basically what I'm gonna get them. It's already, obviously already January, so I can tell you that this year, especially because a lot of things I just ordered online and had them shipped straight to my friends and family, that a lot of these, separate things I would check off during a normal year, everything basically got, all checked off altogether. There are very few things that I actually made myself. That's pretty unusual. I definitely liked the option of having that. And it's, bullet journal, it's really nice to have things to just check off. So another fun element that I've included here, that really I loved the way this came out, was because I was using sort of the theme of Christmas lights to be my, check boxes. I also put this big long string of Christmas lights. It's a very bold border. So I did not sketch any of this out. This was all sort of freehand. Make it as twisty, turny as I can, so. I had a little extra room for all this, decoration, because I still had a bunch of presents to get, but they were a little less than I normally do. We had a Secret Santa. For one of my group of friends, so I knew there were going to be less people that I was getting presents for individually. So yeah, we're putting on the bulbs once in a while along this string, trying to alternate which side, make sure they're not too close to each other. It's very interesting trying to make certain decisions on like, okay, which side of the string is the bulb gonna go? Are we gonna put it on the loop there? Is it gonna take up space, you know, within this turn? Just for how it looks, it's much more important where the bulb itself sits rather than like on the page, rather than where it sits along the string. So I'm sure if you took this string and actually straightened it all out, those bulbs would not be evenly spaced, but it gives a good impression as a decoration here. Definitely a little tedious to, you know, draw a billion little circles. I am glad because I was contemplating trying to actually make them look, I don't know, more light bulb shaped. But it was much less time consuming to just make them little bitty circles. They look good just the way they are. So we're gonna go in and clean up all my pencil markings. And then go in with the color, which was not something I had quite decided on yet. I had what colors I wanted, but not exactly the placement. So we can see that decision process soon. So these are the colors. We got our normal red and green, but I also included a blue and yellow to simulate that sort of colored light string. We are going to highlight these important labels with the red and green, so that's a little bit more prominent. And then I also I use the 4 different colors to signify which of the 4 tasks would be completed. So filling this out, I actually use those 4 different colors. In the same like location and like order for each of the individual labels. And I also decided to highlight that title a little bit more. I did contemplate doing the individual labels, but I think I like them just plain, because they're gonna get a little color, you know, as I fill that out. But I did need to color the border. So instead of having to pick up the pen and put it down for every single color in the cycle, I'm instead counting out three light bulbs in between the red light bulbs. And now here, since I'm getting near the end, I'm realizing that I don't have enough for me to complete this cycle perfectly, so I added those two extra. And then we're going to go in with the rest of the colors and fill them out in order. I did follow the actual order of the light bulbs along the string. So if there's like a loop-de-loop that goes back, I make sure I actually follow where the string would be next in the string. Which, especially with this little figure 8 right there, made my life a little bit hard. It's a good process. I did follow general Roy G. Biv order. So here was the real test to know if I had done it correctly. Because if I did, I would have been left with just one empty bulb, which would of course be the blue bulb. So this is where I discover that I have messed up and I have one extra bulb and I don't know what to do with it. So I'm just moving on to the blue. Just to finish it out and then try to figure out what I'm gonna do with that extra bulb there. So my initial plan was to make it into a loop. Which looks bad. So then I'm trying to make it back into a bulb again. Maybe color it in. It just gets worse. So, threw some yellow in there. Oh well. Covered it with some blue to make it a little darker, but oh well. It looks fine the way it is. So thanks for checking it out. I'll see you later. Bye.